Good morning, Laguna Woods. Welcome to Inspiration for today. I'm really glad you tuned in today because the topic of our show this morning is about a subject that there's a lot of confusion in the world about. And that is that churches are in competition with one another. And that is just not true. We're all on the same side. And it goes back to our verse for today, which comes from the book of Matthew. Jesus is speaking. And in Matthew 16:18, Jesus himself says, I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not prevail against it. But the key word is, I will build my church. You say, my church? One church? Yes, one church. But there's so many churches. There's a church on every block. Those, I want you to know, if they believe in the deity of Jesus Christ and salvation by faith, then they are Christian churches all on the same team. So our guest back for today, another day, is Bill March.
Yeah.
And Bill, great to have you.
Great
again.
to be here. Yeah.
If you didn't see Bill's testimony yesterday, I encourage you to go to the YouTube channel and at YouTube/Inspiration for Today and see that. Because Bill and I have a history that goes back to serving at the same church down in Vista. Mm-hmm. But now, in the scheme of things, Bill is at Grace Hills Church in Laguna Hills, I think. It's on Moulton.
Yes.
We don't know what the city limit is. And we're in Laguna Woods. And but Bill, do you agree, or what's your take on, we are not rival churches?
That's true. It's true.
I mean, people that worship on Sundays at your church are worshiping Jesus.
Amen.
That's the same at our church.
Right.
So how could we be rivals in that
Amen.
Way?
Amen.
Your story at Grace. Well, first of all, what's your role at Grace Hills?
I'm the associate pastor there at Grace Hills.
Okay.
So I have a myriad of things I oversee and do, and I mean, just I like to think of myself as the utility player on a baseball team. So it's just whatever I need to play that day, that's what I'm playing. So I just got told last week I've got 3 weeks of preaching coming up next month. So that's what I'll be doing.
When is that?
Through November, first 3 weeks of November. I'm on it. Yeah, so it's just part of the
that's awesome.
Part of the journey. That's what I'm doing next.
That is the only part about when Jesus has these different expressions. And by the way, the reason there are different churches is they're different people.
Yeah.
So some people would could worship better with your style of worship or your preaching than at ours.
Right.
And so that's great. But vice versa, some people would like the way we do things.
Right.
The important thing, well, actually, we'll get to the important thing at the end. I want to hear more about Grace Hills.
Yeah.
So, is there a core? How do you describe Grace Hills if you meet someone on the street or something?
Right. So I would say it is the most friendly church I've ever served in, been in, just unified church I've ever been in. It is just it's genuine in terms of what you see up front on stage, what you see maybe in a meet and greet time, to what you see behind in an office building. It's the same, and I appreciate that. Not that I've been in churches that were totally different. It's just there's a sense of joy and peace and love, genuine care, and it's awesome.
And you have an excellent fellowship hall, where do you go there between services, after the services?
Yeah, so we have 2 services.
Give us the time.
Yeah, so we have a contemporary service that meets at 9:15 on Sunday mornings, and then we have a fellowship time in our fellowship center with lots of food. So as I like to jokingly say,
we'll stack our food against yours.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So as I like to jokingly say when I do announcements in the first service is that come on over to the fellowship center. That meet and greet part, you'll get to do it with your mouth full. So it's all good. So we have that, and then at 11 a.m. we have a traditional service.
Okay.
Has
more
choir
hymns
and an organ and all that. So we try and bring in
Yeah.
both and definitely offer both at Grace
Same
Hills on
sermon?
Sundays. Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, that really is awesome. And you know, we don't just say that we're on the same team
Hmm.
because actually we have partnered
Right.
together for at least a couple of years
Yep.
now. You want to say
Yeah.
about that or?
Well, obviously, thanks to my friendship with you through the years, and when I first got to Grace Hills, we went out to lunch, and
Yeah.
you came over and talked and prayed and discussed, and thought, hey, there's a need for something that we're doing called Celebrate Recovery. And so, what we've been doing for the last couple of years, as you mentioned, is we've been partnering together to offer Celebrate Recovery, and we do that on Thursday afternoons at 3 p.m. And we have people in Laguna Woods that come to that don't go
Yes.
to Grace Hills. They might go to
Yeah.
Saddleback. They might go to some other church. And of course,
Yeah.
people from Grace Hills who go to that too. But it's a great
So
unity for that ministry.
it
there.
is, and so but I love it also partly because Celebrate Recovery is a program that was developed here at Saddleback,
Yep.
and our people were trained in it, and if I
Mhm.
understand correctly, over time we're training your people too
Right.
to be able to run it. But in
Mhm.
the meantime, here we are, providing some needed leadership, but you provide the facility, and together
Right.
there's a lot of people being blessed.
Yes.
Celebrate Recovery, for those of you who might not have heard about it, but it's the easiest way to understand it. It's like AA, only not just alcohol and not just one. It's hurts, habits, and hangups,
Right.
and it's a Christian 12-step program where the higher power is clearly God and
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Right. Right.
So I love that we have this partnership
Yeah.
together,
It's
Bill,
fun.
and I pray it continue over time.
Yeah.
But so you get to preach in November.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We're in a series in the Gospel of Luke entitled "Knowing the Truth About Jesus." So I'll pick it up
Great.
wherever Mike Johnson, our
Yeah,
senior
tell us
pastor,
the
leaves
senior
on.
pastor.
Yeah, Mike
Mike.
Johnson. He's been there for, 12, 13, 14, 15 years, quite a while. And he's a great man to work with and serve under. And
Great.
yeah, and so he's asked me to speak on those Sundays,
Perfect.
consecutive Sundays. So I'll be doing that and
Well,
taking it from there.
personally, I love when there's variety in the pulpit more
Right.
than just one person anyway. I think that
Mhm.
it's a different perspective
Right.
on things. So
Yeah.
I know you'll do a great job. Uh, I want to just close with this thought. So going back to this, the one church,
Mhm.
which is Christ Church in many locations, and we're not talking about culture, those that deny that Jesus is God, but
Right.
those that are Christian
Right.
in the sense that He is the deity, and
Mhm.
He is. That's what the
Mhm.
Bible talks
Mhm.
about. And so I often say, and I just get your input on this, but
Mhm.
that the important part is everyone should find a church they can be excited about
Right.
and dig in and get
Right.
involved.
Right. Right. And I've been saying that since I was a youth pastor.
Wow.
So
Yes, because you
it's
had an impact on kids.
right, because you would have kids that come to your youth ministry that you're reaching out into the community, and they may not go, the parents may not go to church. And so
Yeah.
my mission was, well, just go to a church as you've described in that criteria for that kind of church. And so, but man, get
There's
involved.
so
Yeah.
many options
Yeah.
that you've got to find one.
Right.
But you miss out if you don't actually get involved and do something in that church.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things when you think about what Jesus
Yeah.
said. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I've come that you may have life and have it abundantly. And I really look at that and go, man, if you really
Gotta
want
be
to
in church.
live that life and know the
Yeah.
abundance, it's got to be within the church.
Thank you, Bill.
Hey,
I
thank
love
you.
these last 2 days.
Yeah.
Have a great day walking with the Lord, Laguna Woods.